Hello and welcome back to the Todoist channel. My name is Naomi and in today's video we are going to talk about OKRs or Objectives and Key Results. This is a powerful goal setting tool that you may be familiar with. Maybe you've heard about it because quite a lot of enormous companies use it, and you might even be here because your boss has come to you and said we are now doing OKRs and you have no idea what that means. Or maybe you're just interested in learning a little bit more. Either way, let's dive in. So OKR stands for Objectives and Key Results. Now the objectives part is pretty much where you're headed, and the key results part is how you're going to get there. OKRs may be a good system for you to try out if any of these apply. You love data and are looking for a more rigorous way to set and track goals. You put in a lot of hard work, but it feels like you're not progressing on the right things. You have a hard time saying no and sticking to your priorities. You feel like you're plateauing in your personal growth and you want to challenge yourself. You need to set priorities and align action across a company, division, or team. So let's break this down even further. Your objective should be inspiring, although it's not necessarily tied to any kind of time frame. It should describe the goal that you want to accomplish. Your key results, on the other hand, are concrete, actionable, measurable tasks that you can take toward that objective. And the article that I've based this video on states it perfectly. Without key results, objectives are just wishes, and without objectives, key results are directionless. However, when used together, OKRs can actually be the best of both worlds. You're pairing inspiring ambitions with concrete actions. Your big high-level goals may be what motivate you, but it's your concrete actions day to day that are actually going to get you to that result. And you need both of those things to be effective. And here's a simple, daunting, personal OKR as an example. Let's say your objective is to run a marathon in under 4 hours. Your key results could then be joining a training group, training for 5 days a week, increasing your mileage weekly, staying hydrated, and making sure you get adequate sleep. Now let's take a look at some team OKR examples. Suppose your team's objective is that you want to become a company that attracts top talent. Your key results could then be redesigning your company website, boosting your leadership team's PR and social media presence. It could be hiring a head of HR, making hiring a priority, and creating mentorship opportunities within your company. Another objective could be that you want to improve your 1-month customer retention rate by 20%. The key results here could include conducting customer interviews, revamping the value proposition on your landing page, redoing all of your welcome onboarding email series, creating a new in-app onboarding sequence, and identifying key marketing channels for retention. Now, OKRs seem quite simple on the surface, but they're actually quite difficult to implement. So let me give you 7 ways to make it work. Now, lucky for us, John Doerr, not entirely sure how you pronounce his name, but he's written a book called Measure What Matters. You probably heard of it. It's a bestseller. And that is going to boil down all of his years of experience of implementing OKRs into companies and help us create these 7 steps. Well, they're not really steps, they're more lessons. So the first one is less is more. It's recommended that you have no more than 3 to 5 key results per objective. Anything more than that is going to dilute the focus and the clarity of what it is you're trying to achieve. Next up, set goals from the bottom up. As management expert Peter Drucker observed, when people choose a course of action, they're more likely to see it through. It's recommended that teams and individuals should set about half of what their OKRs are in conjunction with their managers so that not everything is coming from the top down. I'm not sure many people follow that one. I have heard of a lot of top-down OKRs. The next lesson is no dictating. Even high-level top-down OKRs should still be reached with an inclusive and collaborative process. Collective agreement and buy-in are essential for the success of both your key results and your objectives. The next one is to stay flexible. OKRs are meant to be agile and change with your different circumstances. The key results aspect are probably that little bit more flexible. They can be changed as often as is needed or discarded completely if it's becoming evident that they won't work. While objectives do tend to be a bit more long-term, they can obviously shift if needed. So for instance, if your objective was to run a marathon and you get injured, then your new objective is going to be recovery. Set stretched goals. You shouldn't really achieve 100% of your OKRs. Google famously aim for 60 to 70% success rate. And the idea behind this is that if you reach 100%, then you're probably playing it too safe. If you set yourself some stretched goals, then you're aiming for yourself or your team to try and achieve something that is maybe just slightly beyond what you're capable of currently. If a subset of your OKRs make you feel uncomfortable, then you're probably doing it right. And Another one that tends to get left off the table is do not tie OKRs to monetary compensation. Dore makes it really clear that if you tie OKRs to monetary compensation, then it just encourages everyone to play safe. To underscore this point, Dore quotes Andy Grove, who's an IBM executive and the father of OKRs. OKRs are meant to pace a person, to put a stopwatch in his own hand so he can gauge his own performance. It's not a legal document upon which to base performance reviews. Be patient. Getting OKRs right is really difficult, and actually it requires an iterative process and something that can adjust to your changing circumstances. But the good news is that whenever you're constantly reassessing and adjusting your approach, you're more likely to land on objectives that are actually going to move the needle for you or your company. Now, in this video, we've showed you how to use Todoist in a way to track your OKRs. Using projects for your objectives is really great, and then either using sub-projects or tasks for your key results is also great. You can use filters, you can use labels, whatever you need within Todoist in order to make sure that your objectives and your key results are up front and center of your mind. We have all of those tools. And if you'd like to read the article that this video was based on, I'm going to leave a link in the description box below. It goes into a lot of the missteps and misconceptions that there are about OKRs, as well as the things I've already talked about. Have you ever tried OKRs? Are you considering it? Is it something you've tried and loved or tried and failed at? I'd love to hear in the comments below. And we're going to be choosing one lucky commenter and subscriber to receive a free year of Todoist Pro as a thank you for sharing your wordly wisdom. That's it for today. If you find this video helpful, please give us a thumbs up. It means a lot when you do, and maybe even consider subscribing. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. My postman thinks I'm crazy. I sit in this room with my microphone and my camera and my candle and record myself speaking to myself. And breathe. Well, would you look at that? You may have heard about this for... I'm going to leave a description. No, I'm not leaving a description. To try and... one cannot hire a HR? Condusting? Whew. It's getting a little too warm. Well, I'm hungry, I'm a back sore, and it's time to wrap it up.